Hello, I'm Artifacts of Mars. And I'm going to call out you people who say that global warming is real and is causing this atmosphere to heat up rapidly. I'm calling you out right now. How am I calling you out? Well, here's the problem. CO2, which we're being told is the culprit, and this is why we have to dismantle our technology. CO2 is being called an insulator by scientists. If you're going to tell me that a small amount of CO2 is going to cause the Earth's temperature to warm up, then you're calling it an insulator. Now, carbon can be either one, an insulator or a conductor, but we're talking about the gas, CO2. Now, so I ask you, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask you to explain to me why industry does not use CO2 for a insulator in these what we call vacuum bottles today. Thermos is actually a trade name, so I'm going to call them vacuum bottles. Why don't they use CO2 instead of vacuum? There's a reason for this. And at some point in the future, if I can get the means, I might do a little experiment to show just how much hokum this is. Now, the reason here is that CO2 is no different than any other gas in our atmosphere as far as its insulating properties. There are three types of heat transfer: conduction, convection, and radiation. Two that matter here are convection and radiation. Well, I'm sorry, but if CO2 was as effective of an insulator as what we're being told, then what we would have is these bottles being filled with an outer jacket of CO2 rather than vacuum, because it would be a lot easier to do this. It'd also be completely ineffective. Here's a little experiment most people can do. Take a thermometer, put it in your car, and on a cool night, don't freeze yourself to death, but on a cool night, go out into your car and take a reading on the thermometer. Then sit down, close all the windows, sit there for a while, and take a look at the thermometer again. Now, if you're lucky, it might be a 1 degree difference. But here's the deal. Your breath inside the car is going to produce carbon dioxide. It won't be at harmful levels, but it'll be much higher than it would be normally if your windows were open. Your body heat would produce the heat source that the CO2 would ostensibly trap. So you can't have it both ways. You can't tell me on one hand CO2 is an insulator in our atmosphere, and on the other hand it's not an insulator anywhere else. That's off the table. So, it's one way or the other. That's a little experiment. It's not really scientific, but you could do it if you have a car. And it would show you that this is a bunch of BS. Because if it was a good insulator, like you're being told, then temperature in the car would heat up significantly. You might add a degree or two from your body heat, but there should be, at least 10 degrees difference. You have to sit there for quite a spell, just to make sure, but there should be quite a difference in the heat in the car, in the cabin of the car, if CO2 is really an insulator, because you're breathing it out and breathing in oxygen. The level will be a little higher, significantly higher. We're talking parts per million than it would be otherwise. But at the same token, a house with a few people in it should be pretty well insulated by CO2, right? Same principle. It's never shown to be the fact. So I'm calling out you global warming people. I want you to explain that. I'm calling you out. Explain it to me. I'm Artifacts of Mars. Oh, and some point, like I said, I might try an experiment. It's in the thought process stage. Do it a little more scientifically than what I'm suggesting here. We'll see. I'm Artifacts of Mars. Thanks for watching.